city crazy, niggas dying over diss tracks. They ask me about the violence, what I'm doing to prevent that. I'm telling all my youngest, yo, it's ludicrous to get back. With 2 big pounds on them like ludicrous and get back. Them niggas on go and they don't view it as a mishap. Loyal to wealth, gun hot, boiling belt. Barely knowing how that spoiled shit felt. Young and flipping, but he fiending, it's destroying his health. Rob Van Dam, he kept 2 points to himself. Niggas tougher than they raps, I hear him oinking for help. Yeah. No frog splash, he dipping in his dog cash. They see the chain, recognize my name like a dog tag. I let him live, but never trust, cause they all crash. I even bring it with me when I stall them like a hall pass. They wanna benefit off moves I made, but nigga never reimburse me for the dues I paid. Yeah, I wanna make my mom smirk like Michelle Obama. The only ring that comes from slacking is the men of honors. God told me I was built for all the devil drama. So every fight I gotta show up rocking better Prada. Fuck you niggas talking about.
Mic check. 1, 2.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the King Status Podcast with me, your host, Mr. Mortar King, along with
EdBuck LC, a.k.a. Playboy Bucky. You know what's going on.
Mr. Prolific, a.k.a. J. Duce.
If
Ah.
do say so.
Myself. All right, we got to do the myself together, man. I don't like it not together, man. That echo effect, that's what made it hot. I'm going to stop saying it now. Y'all niggas have ruined it. Run that shit back. No, I'm playing. Go ahead.
But welcome back and welcome to those if this is your first time watching. This is the King Status Podcast. Please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe.
Yes, sir.
And follow us. The description is below. All the links are in the description below. Say this every week. But I want to get right into it real quick by first and foremost saying rest in peace to those 3 that were murdered in Jacksonville in the dollar store, the racially intent act. Apparently this guy, as they usually do, they'll drive from somewhere out in the suburbs, drive hours, go to the blackest neighborhood they could find, and then go and just go murder people with just because. Can't say it's like white supremacy because he's a loser. Like,
Why can't you?
Straight,
But
straight
that's what people do. They lose users. I mean, they use losers for things like this to carry out initiatives. That's what the back chat rooms be. No, real shit. Cause like,
go ahead.
You can't. I didn't even look. I am somebody who avoids the news. I think it brings nothing to keep you in fear. Also keep you subdued. Also keep you like ready to go at all times. So I don't really watch the news. All what's going on, I keep my surroundings. I stay very observant where I'm at. But as long as you consuming so much of negativity, that shit can eventually take control of your brain. I try and stay positive, stay on work.
But at the same time, we should know this type of news because this can happen to anybody. When I look at these situations, I look at it like, yo, that could have been me just going in there getting some snacks. You going in there trying to buy some batteries, and then this loser, I'm gonna just keep calling that.
But
walks in
to me,
and
did that change anything for you though? That's every day of your life. You're a black man in this country.
It's a
I don't
reminder.
need to hear you tell me how many times it happened to us. I know it. Even when you show me, I know it probably happened 100 times more than what you show.
Right.
Especially in some of these towns that didn't even change in the last 100 years. Like the shit is. I just think the news is propaganda at its best to keep your mindset a certain way. I avoid that. Like I could see if it was like breaking news, like news is good for me. That hurricane that's been like terrorizing everywhere. That's when public service mind watching news. This is where it's coming. This is where you're at, so you can know how you move. But as far as covering murders every day of every week for years of my life, like dog, then I have not heard a murder on the news since I was probably born.
well, that makes for the media outlet. Like you understand, you on that side. You understand like when you got to do that. Of course, like we don't agree with how it makes us look, but this is still some American coverage, some nationwide coverage because
Right, but don't you think that adds to the fact of like these shooters? Like, okay, I can get nationwide coverage. Like, I can be the one to he's a martyr now to some people. Like what Irv was fucking talking about eating chicken wings in the hood and shit. Like some people see that kind of shit and want to move towards it. Like I just think that if you can kind of like definitely advise newspapers for stuff like that where they can just list them off to you. But as far as going on your public platform every day and telling your people to be in fear of their own neighbors, their citizens, their people mind, to me is counterproductive to how we going. Like, yo, we've been hearing about murders in Philly nonstop. Barely do I ever hear how they plan to stop them. What's the point? You gonna tell me about? I mean, of course you want your family coverage, and you may want to put where they found, but that's a section to me. I don't have to hear you break down, go on the scene, interview somebody, have this person either add to the fuel of the fire or make it worse to me.
I get what you're saying, Jay. I get what you're saying. So I don't completely disagree with you. I just still think it still helps a certain type of awareness. Like, it's things you should know around just your surrounding area and where you live, the community you're part of. And the other thing I want to say is, for those who look at him like a martyr, you said, like, for those people and they're encouraged to do something like that, guess what? You're a loser too. And I don't be casting people to hell. Oh, but there's the hottest part. There's a great space there down there for you. Trust me. Like, so F you if that's what you feel like you want to do, or that's your motive in life and that's your goal in life. Like, F you, fuck you.
Well, yeah, I mean, agreed on the FU part. For me, if you're consuming the news, make sure you preach positivity in your life, do your affirmations, do enough to counteract that negativity you put into your mind, body, and spirit every day.
I agree with you.
Yeah, nah, I'm just taking it in because like I didn't even hear about it. Like, so it's like what you're saying. Like, sometimes we should be like more like in tune with certain stuff like that, because like it could happen anywhere. But it's like what you said too. At the same time, it's like, yo, this joint is happening all the time.
Yeah,
And I can't say that they not trying to stop it, but at the same time, y'all not putting people in the
ain't no
streets.
prevention. Like,
Yeah,
you
like,
don't
that's
go
what
on and hear like, oh, before this area is hot, they shooting. Don't go down this block. It's yo, nigga got shot yesterday. So y'all know.
I mean, sometimes, me still being like fairly new, not completely new, but new to the area, it still helps me. Like, it did help me learn a lot about the area, not just like the news, of course, like, because being around certain crowds and knowing and just being educated on, hey, like, this happens over here, so just
be cautious.
Yeah, be cautious. But I still think you should be cautious anywhere.
Yeah,
like,
and that's my
anywhere you
point.
go.
It don't help because you're supposed to be that way. You're supposed to be on your P's and Q's. You're supposed to be aware of your surroundings. You're supposed to be able to know that, yo, it can always happen to you. Yeah. And if you black, it can really almost happen to you.
But I think for me, it helps remind me, like, yo, when they do things like this, just remember that could have been you. He didn't say, oh, I'm looking for this specific type of black person, or I don't care the age, I don't care the height, what they look like, male or female.
That's been since the beginning of the time.
I'm gonna go to this predominantly black area, and I'm gonna kill some black people.
Yeah.
And like that, but it helps me stay on my P's and Q's to know, hey, this is not just the area you're in. This is where people are thinking about this. Somebody's thinking about this 3 hours away from you. Yeah. And they will do things like this, like the Buffalo shooter. He drove hours to go do that. And I'm like, and recorded it. I'm like, yo, there's really a special place in hell. Like, you under hell, like, to me. With that, like, how we say you're going to be put under the jail? Like, I think it's a special place under hell for you for that.
Yeah.
Hey, man. Just make sure you pack that thing on you, man.
Hey. We ain't disagreeing. Like,
hey, that's all.
We're not disagreeing.
The awareness part is where I think we do disagree, but I just don't. I think once you get past a certain age, you know that it's curtains for you anytime, any day. So,
but I'm still saying, like, I'm just saying it's a reminder. It's not that I don't.
Oh, you forget? Shit, that's different. I don't ever forget.
No, it's not a forget. It's just it puts you right back in, like, when you think, oh, nah, because things are cool and all that stuff. Like, and sometimes in times of peace, some things you're not thinking about. Yeah, or in the mindset, like, because where we're around, sometimes
I was about to kill that peace comment.
We might just be looking out. There's some people out there that's just looking out for the young boys with the shiesty mask on. Yeah. But that's a reminder, hey, anybody can walk in this store. He can be
without the shiesty, with the long hair.
The safest white person can walk in here, the safest looking, can walk in here and do something. That's the reminder. It's not that I forget. It's just more like, yo, sometimes because media, the news and what you're saying, they'll shine a light on everything else and who's doing it. So you only become you only think about that. You at a point because that's all
Put
you're
you in
hearing
a state
about.
of fear of your own
but
people.
then when you forget, hey, this type of person, and definitely like I know Jay probably got more of his like conspiracy theories.
Oh
too,
no, I
like,
ain't conspiracy. What you talking about? This is a proven black fact.
Well, that
For black
that
people in
Buffalo
America,
one,
you have never been at peace. You've been under attack your whole entire life.
that Buffalo one definitely feels like I got my conspiracy theories about that because not just that he did it, but one of the particular people that got murdered that time.
Oh,
And it was
okay.
the guy like he was I think he had a patent pending. He was creating the first mobile engine that runs on water. Like so he was like discovering how to make cars drive just on water, like just with water.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm like, so that's a
we
game
need,
changer.
we
That's
need
like,
that.
that's like
we
yo,
need
you
that.
don't need like I'm not sure exactly how it works. If it was like without oil or without gas, whatever it was going to cut all the resources. Like you don't got to go spend money on something that was going to cut up your vehicle
I think it's
expenses.
called hydroelectrics, but yeah, it's a, I mean,
so they was just
it's an
going
industry people have been trying to get current going. I didn't really look into like that actual situation, but yeah, I mean, they always stealing patents from us.
Nah, they was
The whole patent office was made to kind of take that shit from black people.
He was going to up the price on water. That's what they was going to do. Oh, okay.
That too. But then but it's certain things like you can't stop. Like when it rains, if you can still run on that, you take a bucket.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
About to take this 2-hour trip.
Wow, you just
And they
hit
gonna be
right
affecting
on
the weather now. Like, oh, let
a
me hit
sign
this.
strong
Let me hit this little button and make it stop raining for a good year.
weather
Like,
machine. That's there too.
But yeah, but I just want to say I want to be able to say the names. Rest in peace to Gerald, however, like if that's it, because it looks like with his last name and everything, he could probably be saying in a different language or a certain type way. Rest in peace to AJ, and rest in peace to Angela Carr. They were 3 people, all different ages, just in Dollar General.
yeah, rest in peace to them. It's always tragic.
Yeah,
For just random stuff. It's so like it's the stuff like that, like how like when I talk about like that movie American Sniper, it's like when he said, yo, it's evil like I never seen before, I swear like that line stuck with me so much because it was like just watching that, it just made me think like, yo, like how he said, like, yo, you just sent a boy to do something so like to a bunch of men, like that's a crazy act. And it's just like the same. It's like, yo, like you just randomly like, yeah, I'm gonna just go kill some people in the store. Like that's really like just hearing evil. Like you can't even imagine sometimes. Like
and speaking of hate, let's go into this other topic real quick. I can't remember his name, but everybody saw it. The Olympic gold medalist. he won the gold.
yeah,
I didn't even watch that idiot,
And
man.
he came at the NBA players for saying like, "Oh, we're the world champions and all that."
Noah Lyles.
What I want people to understand, because I know everybody else might have saw and thought like, "Oh, he's right in all this and whatever he said." I'm gonna tell y'all what I saw immediately. When I saw him say that, I was like, "Man, it is so sad." And your highest moment, the moment you dreamed of, the moment you really only imagined of achieving, and you accomplished it, you won it, you did your biggest moment in life, and you still found time to hate on someone else to bring a whole different.
It was weighing on the spirit. I mean,
And it's weighing on your spirit more than accomplishing your dreams
yeah.
to reach the biggest moment of your life.
Hey, hate's one of the biggest motivators.
Oh man. But you're hating when you're at the top of the seat. You got to the top of the seat and you still find time to, oh yeah, like, but look at them. They're not like this. Bro, you're at the top.
Like you
But
literally on top of the world. Like,
and you still found a second to hate on someone else. Please, people, realize that if you're that type person, please go find peace and go get some healing. Watch episode 22. Our last week's episode, go find some peace and healing and go get some healing in your heart, man, and find other things to like enjoy your moment when you win something that great. Like it's not many people in life that really accomplish something like that, and you still found a second to hate on somebody else. Please go find some healing, my brother. Please go find some healing.
Yeah, I just feel like I seen a comment. Somebody said like, "Yo, even players from around the world come to the U.S. to play in the league."
Yeah.
So they was like, like it's a world full of players.
I don't care.
like,
Like the
I
same
don't-
way I told people, I said, I don't care if you agree with him or not. I don't care if he's right or not. I didn't care to figure out if he was right or not. I mean, he isn't, but like because of that point you just said, but it's still like, yo, in the highest moment you only could dream of and imagine, and that other millions have only imagined and dreamed of and worked hard to get there, and they didn't accomplish what you accomplished, and you still found a second to hate. You still found a second to hate. That's why I'm like,
Yeah,
get
I understand
some
what you're
healing.
getting. Yeah, I see what you're getting at.
I
for
do,
real.
bro. I do not care. Slap the shit out of me if I do something like that. In the biggest moment of my life where I should be happy, that's the only thing I should think about.
Yeah.
And I'm still like, yeah, but look at them dudes. They think they're winning over there and all that. No, bro, I'm winning.
Yeah.
I don't care. I'm not thinking about that. Bro, you crazy. What's
gotta-
your opinion on it?
I feel like I honestly feel the same way. I just think about like so many different like how it's like, yo, what are you thinking about? Like why does that even matter to you right now? Like what
Why
you
is
getting
that
at
the
like
first, second, or third thing you're thinking about?
like I just
that moment?
and also I just felt like on the biggest stage with USA like going across your chest, you chose to hate on the United States about something
Exactly.
like you chose to hate on the very people that you're representing like it's like these people could have been the same people that you're talking about is watching this like, yeah, let's go, like he won for us. And then you just say, yeah, like y'all, like why?
wait.
What makes you think y'all champions of the world?
Bro,
Like what do you mean? Like, bro, they winning on the highest level in the world. Like the NBA is the best league in the world. Like everybody tries to come to the United States to play in the NBA. Like,
how do you feel, Mr. Prolific?
Well, I did not watch this video because again, I'm that negative. I saw kind of what it was, like him going like, what sport was he in?
it was track.
Track. So I saw him in the press conference, and I saw that he had just won gold, right, or something like that.
Yeah.
And that he decided to talk about the NBA, which maybe he wanted to be a ball player. I don't know what. Yeah, like for me, that's why I don't give it energy. Like why would I want to watch somebody at a press conference say fuck a whole different sport that don't got shit to do with me here?
Now,
Probably because I didn't get a chance to
I'm
make it
thinking it's
there.
about to be dope speech, and then it's like that came up. I'm like, did I just hear that? Did he just hate on another man? Other men that he's on teams with?
Essentially, yes.
Like,
Like,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, yo, when y'all out doing this Olympics, they out there with you. Like, they probably was in the stands watching you, like you said, sitting there cheering, like, oh, yes, we're winning. And then, dang, you find time to hate on me?
Yeah.
That's why I said people need that healing. Episode 22, that's the new thing. When we talk
Yeah,
about
for
people
sure.
getting healing and need some healing, we just always going to say episode 22.
Nah, like it, and I was just like not happy, but it was like, yo, I'm so glad a little bit that he didn't do this like on like the World Olympic stage.
I mean,
Like if
next
it was
year.
like, yeah, like
next year.
2024, like when they do the ones every 4 years, like because like those are, I don't want to say like the best of the best, but like literally like the best of the best come out during that time, walk down like this long, like you feel me? I think they walk around the track if I'm not mistaken, but it's like hundreds of people representing each other,
Yeah, like when they walking in.
and I'm thinking like that's what I'm imagining. Like you went on a podium, and this is what we do every 4 years to build our solidarity. I don't know the word, but I can't think of the word, but like.
I mean, we do it to distract the American public and the world's public from what's really going on.
But I'm just thinking like, yo, like with everybody so locked in and so tied together, like that's what you chose to do. Like that's what you chose to say
'Cause
about like.
you bring friction on the inside.
y-
So now they gonna be looking at you funny when y'all walking in and y'all giving y'all American entrance with each other, and they gonna be like, they ain't gonna want to rock with you.
Yeah, like so, like next year they could be thinking like, oh, with him saying that, it's we can beat them in some like they could be using that as motivation. Like,
You know, like how now they might turn down doing a commercial with each other, and all, like it's not cool, dude. Sorry, bro. It's like nah. But then that also ties into another thing I wanted to talk about and how that's to me. I don't know if y'all agree. You know, Jay, he'll disagree on everything. Like that. It's like nah, he
I
just got
mean,
his own opinion and it's dope. Like,
yes, sir.
but I believe comparison starts from a place of jealousy. And like when people are comparing their life when they're looking on social media and seeing people live and they think, oh, their life is so lit, like they live like this every day, and then you start looking at how your life is and you thinking you're a failure, you thinking like you're not doing enough, you thinking you don't have enough, you're failing by the age that you are. If you're 30 and you don't have this and that, that you're a failure, and that comparison is jealousy. And then what is that going to turn to? Depression. Then you don't have no gratitude. You don't have appreciation for what you did accomplish and what you do have, and you don't take time to look at what you do have and what you accomplished because you're so busy being upset watching what everybody else accomplished. So to me, that's why I say like when the comparisons come up, especially like if somebody's saying like, "Oh, you're not like this person," oh, that's like a, or if you're feeling that way, like you're not this person, like that person. Comparison starts from a place of jealousy, and you need to figure that out.
Yeah, what's that saying? That comparison is like the theft of joy or something. Like I don't really think you should be comparing yourself to somebody else. Now, now being competitive, I think is different. Like I'm competitive in most things I do as far as I want to be the best, but that doesn't mean I'm trying to beat you. I'm trying to beat myself every time. I'm not trying to just say I might look at you for guidance or like, oh, what they doing over there looks nice.
Yeah.
Let me incorporate some of that, but not ever as, oh, he got that. Damn, I want that joint. Like, no, cause I'm gonna get what I like. It's beauty in the journey, which I'm also gonna go back to. Like, whenever you grind, even this, like 22 episodes. Shout out to Playboy Buck for the Killer 22. But it was a problem for you before you got started, and then after it's still gonna be a problem. Like no matter what, somebody who's always comparison, no matter what, they can get it all and still gonna look at the person over there like, now I want what they got too. And that's kind of like that. Back to this whole topic. This episode's on hate, really, but like that, it's a form of hate. Like
Right.
it kind of leads you down a hater's path.
Yeah, because then like you start questioning what. Oh, I bet they didn't work this hard to do it. I bet they had some. I bet she was sleeping with somebody to get that bag. I bet he had to go do something unmorally to get there. No, why can't it sometimes it just be like, yo, they bust their ass? Because some of the stuff I definitely be saying, even when people were saying like relationship goals, looking at my relationship, and I'm like, I guarantee you don't want to have to deal with a lot of the shit I had to deal with, or we had to deal with. Not I mean, not just me, that I had to deal with. Like, yeah. But let me reiterate to get my words together. I'm like, I tell people like, yo, you don't really want to have to deal with what we had to deal with to get here. Sometimes, like, and that's why we be saying like everybody's path is different. Nobody really gets on the same way. You might have to do something differently, and that's where I stop. Where I realized how to like really to stop catching myself from comparing myself to anybody, because it's like, yo, they might have not had to do so many reels to get on, but they had to do twice as many episodes. And where it's like, yo, we might have just did triple what they did in reels, so it helped us in the same way, in the same type of time. And that's just an example. So it's like, so some of those times, like that's how I may catch myself where it's like, yo, remind myself, everybody's path is different. So don't look at theirs and they're a completely different person than you. They started a completely different way. They're doing it a completely different way.
Right.
So that's what works for them. Find what works with you. And I think that's what Jay was getting to. Like he finds what's good for him. Even if like we look and like get inspired by something, it's more like though, how can I get something like that for me?
Yeah.
Not what you have, but just me get on that level in the same way because we may be in the same industry. Like, how can I just get there for myself?
Yeah, it's crazy because like I was watching something and the guys, they was like going back and forth. He was saying like, yo, you had to go do all of this just to get here, and I didn't have to do this because I was better. And he was like, yo, he was like, but the difference is, he's like, I'm still here. He was like, how many years did you play compared to me? He was like, I'm going into number 16. He was like, you can't even compare to what I'm doing. He was like, so you want to talk about a path? He was like, my path is still going and yours is cut short. And like he wasn't even really trying to go like into that with him for real, because like he was like taking the humble route, but he was just saying like, yo, like just because you got on quicker, he was like, you fell off faster. Like basically, it was like what he was saying. It's like, yo, you fell off faster than I did. He was like, I'm still here, despite anything you trying to say. Because he was like, yo, like your name next to mine, it don't even compare. He was like, I'm not really sure about that. Like, and I just thought that was like interesting because it was like, yo, you really trying to talk down on this guy, and he's still making bags. Like he's still doing everything he want to do. He still get a chance to provide for his family.
Rose said he said you could sell 10 million one time or a million 10 times. Like it doesn't matter, you can still do it. And like you said, if you do it a million 10 times, that's longevity right there.
Right.
So I think and I guess that's what you were like alluded to. No, I was just thinking that like that's what I was picturing. Like I was like maybe that's what Rose meant when what Eddie was saying. Like I said, oh, maybe that's what he meant. What was the other thing? You just said something, and it made me think about
How sexy I am?
I mean, wasn't that? I can see that. But,
as long as you know.
I mean,
Like what, yo?
nah,
But
go ahead.
go ahead.
Oh no,
Nah, I just was going to
bro,
throw some shit out there. I'm like,
I was about to piggyback off something he said.
They both just like,
well,
nah,
this is pre-recorded. I can cut this little. He cut the. You know what you talking about? That's all. You know what I'm saying? Get it together, brother. Get it together.
Nah, but yeah, but like you just gotta compare.
I'm drawing the blank.
Just stop comparing yourself to other people and just figure out what God life has for you. Like Eddie says, like, yo, if you go meet life halfway, but still give me your 100%, like life will meet you halfway and you'll figure it out. And we're all still in that process. LNEG, Late Nights Early Grind. We still on that. King Status Podcast. Mr. More the King.
Yes, sir.
Playboy Bucky.
Yes, sir.
Jay do say Mr. Prolific. If
Talk
I
to
do
her.
say so myself. No, the episode's not over. I'm just gonna keep going though.
Keep
Nah,
going.
but it's like what you said, though. It's healthy to be competitive. Like when we used to do music, like because I look at you so good at it, it was like, yo, I gotta make sure I hold my end to these 16s, or they gonna be talking about just one person on the song. And there's nothing wrong with that in my opinion. It's just like, yo, I wanna be held to the same standard. It's my duty to keep the song like
I think
popping.
that's what it was. I think it was something on competition. And I was just like, cause I'm like, yo, to me, and you know that it's nothing wrong with friendly competition to me. It's nothing wrong with that because I always say iron sharpens iron.
I was just gonna say that too.
I don't consider that like comparison because it's not like you're jealous. You're just like, yo, I know I'm the best though.
Yeah.
And sometimes like it's nothing wrong with showing that confidence. Like I said before, I'm like, yo, sometimes it takes a certain level to get there.
And I say to that, I always just say like, yo, you don't put the work in to not, you know, to stay humble about being as good as you got. It's like, okay, like I was once average, that's cool. Now the more that I get better at this and the more that I compete, it's like, all right, no, I want people to know that I'm good. I don't want other people to just when we get in the court, like, yo, make sure it's like, no, I want y'all to know, like, yo, y'all gonna have a tough day today. Like, y'all better guard up, like, or whatever the case is. Or and then when you step in the studio with somebody, it's like, yo, I hope that pen hot today, cause I wrote some, yeah, like, so.
And this is why you gotta respect Kobe so much.
Absolutely.
People chose, yo, I can't compare myself to. I watch him work out. I can't compare myself to that because I see how much. And I'm not saying me personally. This is what NBA players are saying.
Yeah.
We watched him work out, and I see why he became what he is and why he's that good. Because he's like, yo, he's gonna be in the gym 4 in the morning, be back at noon, and I'm only working out at noon for an amount of hours. He's going to work out 3 times in this day, and he'll do that consistently. And that's why he's as good as he was. But that's what NBA players were saying. They're like, yo, I just can't do that. You know, Melo even said that. He said, bro, I'm not waking up that early to go do that.
Yeah.
So it's like they're not comparing. They're like, yo, he's
You
pretty
are
much
who you are, like,
uncomparable because
right.
he works hard for it, and they respect that. They're like, yo, Kobe's that great because he works that hard. He worked that hard to be that way. So it's no comparing to that. And but because it's admirable. Like we all look at that like, yo, it's the mama mentality. You see, like everybody talks about that. Everybody like that's the thing, like that he created to work hard and put in the effort yourself. And as long as you doing great and then you're working hard at it, you gonna control the tempo.
Right.
No, facts. And get good at working hard, at working smart. Like, yeah, you can work hard, but when you start working smart and working hard, you'll definitely see the uptick in your productivity and your grind and your emotion, and it will definitely start to help you change your life. Like, whatever you do, as long as you think about it, like try and take some time to really sit with your thoughts, sit with your grind, sit what you want to do, map it out, figure it out. Like I'm big on mapping out. Like right now, I'm mapping the next 5 to 7 years even more in depth. Like trying to get to like a month. Yo, well, this is the progress right here. This is the progress we need right here. Because like it's a lot when it comes to life. Like you can get caught up taking this thing day by day, and next thing you know, 10 years done flew by, and you like, damn, I never really took a shot at what I wanted to do. And when you finally take the time to really like, yo, sit in, make the plan, grind, but grind in a way that just not, and you run into the same brick wall, you maneuvering, you figuring out, you looking for an obstacle around there, you identifying the problem. Like a lot of times people don't identify whatever the problem is, they just know something's wrong. And that's start of it, but you gotta identify the problem in whatever you see. Like whenever I want something to look better, I gotta identify why it's not. All right, well, let's try this. Let's see this. And everything don't gotta be solved with money or anything. It could just literally be time where you sat and research. When I'm on YouTube on page 402, like trying to figure out this one issue I'm having editing, it's that grind that makes it. Because once I got it forever.
Yep.
Right.
And I could just reuse it, apply it to next thing. So I think it is big. It's a big thing to make sure you work smart too.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and like you said, because you know, like that's the difference. Where again, I said like having motion and progression. Because sometimes you can just be working so hard, but you don't have a destination. You're not thinking about, oh, where is this hard work going to take me? Is it just going to give me this nice pension, or is it just going to get me to the front door? But like Jay saying, you want to be able to get to that door, open it, walk through it, and make things happen. So you do want to progress, like, and that's where definitely that work smart comes from, because then it's accountability too, where it's like you have to understand, why do I keep hitting this same brick wall? What do I keep doing the same? I'm putting in the same effort. What little thing do I need to tweak just so I can find it, hit, and figure it out, so I have it in my mind, I have the knowledge of it to not do it again, and that way it takes me further than what this wall I keep hitting.
Facts.
Anybody got?
I mean, I just talked to
And it was one of the quotes I always say, like, because you kind of said it like Jay, but well, you didn't say the quote, but this is how I usually say it is, you know how people say tomorrow's not promised. And I always say, yeah, tomorrow's not promised, but I like to be prepared for when it comes.
Mm-hmm.
So like you said, like when you so just in the moment, and you don't even realize, like, yo, you didn't even. There's no progression anywhere because you just stayed in the moment, and that's what I always say. Like, yeah, but because I definitely always say. Some people always say that tomorrow's not promised, and then I'm like, yo, but 10 years just went by.
Right.
You've been saying this for 10 years, like, like tomorrow turned into 10 years. So now what? And that's why I understand. Like I had to pull back a little, like learn how to live in the moment a little more because more on the appreciation side and the gratitude of it.
Right.
But still, I definitely always say like when people say tomorrow's not promised, but I'm like, yeah, but I like to be prepared for when it comes.
Facts. You gotta be prepared. Preparation is, I mean, 90% of what we do. Like even doing this, everything. Why I took my time to get it to where I wanted before I started recording anything was so that when the time comes, I don't really gotta do much to change. A lot of times people get their moment and then, oh shit, I gotta go do this, I gotta go do that, I gotta figure this out, I gotta map this out. When you was expecting that moment to come, and it's just, yo, it's on its own time. It's God's timing. And I ain't gotta rush it. It's just when it comes, I'm ready for it. I got everything I need to. I need to be whatever it needs to happen. I can make happen.
They say the 5 P's: proper preparation prevents poor performance.
It's like 14, but we're not gonna get into that. No, it's like 14 P's. I'm telling you.
Well, the 5
Proper planning prevents piss poor performance. Piss poor performance prevents. I can't even think of the whole.
Look,
It's
too
like
much.
14
It's
P's.
5.
Yeah.
Just go with the 5.
It's like 14.
Proper
in
planning
Jones.
prevents poor performance. I
think it's piss poor performance, but yeah, because it's supposed to be 7. It's 7 and a 14, but whatever.
Proper planning prevents poor performance. Because when I did it, when I said performance, I threw my thumb back and looked like it was only 4.
Hey yo.
So I had to do it again. Man, yeah, I understand. But and then like you said with God's timing, because this is another thing going with accountability and everything, yo. And I'm gonna definitely say this. I'm gonna definitely say this to the camera because I see this often. I definitely see this often. Stop blaming God for your bad decisions, your consistent bad decisions, the decisions where you keep saying, "Oh, I guess God, it wasn't meant for me," and "Oh, God's putting me through this work." No, He didn't tell you to go cheat people and keep running with the same people you always be with and making these same mistakes, running into the same wall that you keep trying to get. He keeps saying like, no, I put this in front of you so you can go around it. Right. You chose to keep doing that. So I can't stand when I see that when people make a big mistake or something and where it affects others. And then they want to say, oh yeah, God's put me through these lessons. No, well, yeah, it's a lesson, but like, no, you caused that. Don't blame that on God because your bad decisions, your consistent bad decisions. Can't stand seeing that. So stop blaming God for all your mistakes that you continuously make.
So He give you the option to go right or wrong. Don't you? And we know better. So you know if I only got $100 and these Bulls tickets cost $85. And now I'm coming home. I can't pay to eat nothing. Bro, you do.
And then you go home like, oh God, I don't know what you're putting me through, but like, no, you keep spending the money. Like you know you couldn't afford that, so why you gonna do it? That's not God's fault.
Yeah,
that's not God's problem.
So you could have held on to that 100 for the next day, and He was waiting for you. He was waiting to give you this 500. So you could go to the next game, like,
and it's always just a cop out. I understand, like God puts us through tests, but when you keep making the same decisions, that has nothing to do with God. So stop using that as your way out. Oh well, God's putting me through this. No, you just keep making that same decision. Get up out of it, figure it out, and really go talk to God about it. And see the answer you really get.
No, that's facts. I was about to say, and make sure you watch who you get your word from. I saw this lady preacher, and she said, "Thank God for slavery."
Oh damn!
Because without slavery, I would have been worshiping a tree, and I just couldn't.
That was crazy.
Couldn't fathom somebody saying that. Because I'd have been loving that tree. Because what the fuck? Like, yo, you know what, like,
I'm confused.
What people went through? Like, dog, it was, and I thought it was fake.
I'm so
dog.
confused.
It was room full of people, and she's saying this word.
Because people think, like, they woke and they just know it all. And it's like, what do you mean? And then you end up saying goofy shit like that out your mouth, like, and you don't even realize it. You think like just like him with the Olympics. He thought, oh, this speech about to kill him. Everybody about to love this. No, you sound like an idiot. You sound like a dummy. You sound like a hater.
Oh, I hope people got up and walked out of there like.
I didn't see that part of the video.
Oh, they got up out of there like this is not what I came here for. Like this is not what I thought it was supposed to be. Like,
No, because like man,
should have called the cops.
I would have started heckling. What?
And
Hey yo. New preacher. Excuse me. Hold on, guys. I'm gonna stop this. I'm gonna stop all of this, guys. We gonna end this in prayer right now because she needs to go get checked out. Like lost her rabbit ass mind.
And that's the other thing, bro, that I've seen a lot. It's like people be slaves to false prophets, man. And I seen people take advantage of that position.
Mm-hmm.
The position that Jay's talking about, I definitely have seen those positions. I'm not saying I dealt with it personally, but I definitely seen it. You good? I'm trying to be serious.
No, as long as Eddie get why I'm laughing. As long as Eddie get why I'm laughing, because nigga, you hilarious right now. But continue.
And then like you said, like, you know, you'll see some of these pastors and preachers say anything or do anything online, and you just like, sometimes you'll look at it like, yo, I am a human being, like, because when you go to some of these churches, they want to be treated like God.
Yeah.
Facts.
And that's scary because I say, yo, I don't look at no man like he's God, because if we're here to worship God and the Lord, that's not you.
Right.
That's not you. You may be teaching it and giving the word and guiding us to receive him, but you're not him. You still bleed and you're still human. You still have emotions just like I do.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like I said, I'm not saying this about like a personal experience I've been through, because my old pastor, I told him when we would do church visits, I said, man, you see, like, did you see when he did that and said that? Like, he chuckled, like, because sometimes like people will turn a blind eye to it, and sometimes these churches, bro, it's almost like hospitals. We may keep you sick just to keep you around.
Hey man,
And that's not everybody. That is not everybody. But I'm just saying, I have seen it. We all have seen it. And people hustle. We heard a story about one of the pastors going out. He go out selling weed still.
ain't shit wrong with that. Hey, pastor, let me get that. Let me get a dub, pastor. You know what I'm saying?
We get a little bit from my cataract.
You got that fire? I'm pretty sure his weed had the best names, nigga. His weed was fire, nigga.
Lord,
this is holy
the
water.
Lord sent this.
This is holy water, nigga.
This is Holy Ghost. You gonna take this? I'm sorry, Lord. I'm
Hey
sorry.
yo.
He did the shimmy.
He shimmied the Holy Ghost. He shimmied for the Holy Ghost. Hey yo.
He's so good. He said, the pastor got the best weed. Like,
That shit gas, you know what I'm saying? It comes straight from the Lord's blessed. You know what I'm saying? You ever
Oh,
had
man.
Blessed Bud?
oh man,
Damn, that sounds like a company.
You ever
Everybody,
had
hold on,
Blessed
trademark.
Bud?
I repent.
Blessed Blood.
I repent.
Bud.
I
Oh,
repent.
damn.
I repent.
Continue repenting, sir. But yeah. What's next? What
No,
you got?
I'm just saying, because you brought up how like when the blind leading the blind, and it's not just pastors, it's leadership. Period. Like, you know, the blind lead the blind, and when everybody's looking for a savior, and everybody's looking for someone to lead them out. And I know none of us in this room are looking for that. Definitely not in a president necessarily.
I ain't looking for it in anybody.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. The only person I look for is the Lord himself.
I mean, even then, I think he got bigger missions and opportunities than save me. He put me on this earth to save myself and grind for it. He just embodies me and empowers me to do what I do. But it's not like I gotta look
like
and
that.
I gotta search and I gotta find. Like, you gotta stay on. No, I'm on the course I set forward for my life. I think God aligns with that. I think the universe aligns for that. Whatever what you believe in, I think once you align yourself up in that, every decision you make will start looking like green lights to me. Like, I got nothing but green flags in my life. Even when things get a little rocky, I'm able to pivot and quickly move into what I need to do And then when I'm sitting back, and especially like being a creator, it's probably like, to me, that's why I push so hard for people to try and do different things, because like it's the best reward you can get, seeing something you made from nothing turn into 22 episodes, new production company, new studio equipment, new podcast coming, your Friendly Neighborhood podcast coming soon.
New
And
sexiness.
that too. I think I always was sexy though. But
We've been sexy.
I know I got you.
Nah, we've been sexy.
No, but it's just, I don't know. A lot of people have that savior complex that I really don't derive from. Like I really think it's on you. Like every time I needed something, it was on me to go get it. Like even now in my darkest moment, God has always brought me out of them. But I'm not ever gonna be just like, oh yeah, what's next, God? I'm praying for this. I'm gonna make sure it happens. No, I'm gonna go make it happen, and then I'm gonna thank God for allowing it to make it happen.
Yep,
That's
faith
that.
without works is dead. And people think, and you have not because you ask not.
Shit.
Some people, they just get caught up in the asking, same way they just get caught up in the dreaming. Like, yo, you doing all this dreaming, and yo, the dream ain't just gonna come show up. Going back again to what Eddie says all the time is when you meet life halfway. Your dreams are not gonna come to you. You have to go out and get it. You got to go put in the work. You got to stay prayed up. You got to put in the hard work. You got to keep yourself safe, keep yourself sharp, keep yourself open-minded to get there. And everybody's path is different. So just figure out what God has for you. Figure out what you have for your own path. And stop waiting for other people to save you. Because when you realize you get up and you go do it yourself and you go make things happen and you're getting rewarded for it, that's because you went up and got up and made it happen for yourself.
Yeah, I was just gonna say too, like to piggyback off that, like when you doing this, I thank God for the abilities. Like, yo, thank you for the abilities to be motivated to go do it, to have the strength to go do things like that. Like like Jay said, like, yo, you go put that pain in. You go put them sacrifices in, and then you thank God for, yo, thank you for allowing me to have the strength to do that, because it's hard to do what we do on a daily basis, even just getting up and being trying to be productive, for y'all, taking care of children, being fathers, being husbands, even all while trying to be yourself and keep your motivation up and go through, you feel me, the trials and tribulations of just navigating just a day in general. Like, so it's like like what I'm saying, it's like, yo, I thank God for allowing me to giving me that power. Like, yo, because without you, I wouldn't be able to do this. But at the same time, you gave me everything, all the tools to be able to go do everything that I'm doing. So it's on me initially, but I thank you for everything, that come with it.
And just had that belief in yourself, like what we always spew on here, and the information we always try to give is like having a different level of belief. And I do believe we all, doing this podcast, we all have reached a certain level that, like, we thought we might have been peaked with our confidence before, but we all reached a different level. I see it on all of us, how we move and how we do things, definitely as far as media and the ideas that are coming behind the scenes that people don't know between us, the three of us.
Absolutely.
So I definitely feel like, even though we're all may not be at the level we want to be now, and that's the whole point of this episode, is like, yo, but learn your journey and love your journey, love the process, and don't compare yourself to other people. Figure out what you have to do and what you need to get to the next level. And we're still in the figuring out phase, but we're loving the process, and we're not letting things, even when things are still hard and still difficult, and you feel like, yo, it's still taking longer than I would hope or like it to, but we're still loving the process and still going to be in it and not come this far to just give up. And this is episode 23. 23.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I definitely can relate to that as far as like choosing your journey. I feel like I always like came into like crossroads in my life to where as though like things could have quote unquote helped me propel in life, and you feel like that, you feel me, just because like you feel like, dang it, everything worked out like this. It could have been better if it was, but that's just you thinking that the grass is greener. So like as I got older, certain things I used to always think about, like, yo, I think that some things could go like this, but I don't actually know. So I have to walk down these paths because I don't have the answers. This is just what I feel. This is just what I think. So I think is that's kind of interesting because like I literally feel like my life is just like that. Like, yo, I always thought like certain things would be a certain type of way, but I realized like, yo, I'm really walking like my own path. Like, and my mom used to always like, she used to always like prepare me for that. And like just kind of lately, like over the last couple years, I really realized that like, yo, I'm really gonna, like, no matter what anybody says or whatever the case may be, I'm gonna do things the way that I want to because this is my journey, this is my path. Like, and we all have our own, and they could be, trying to help you prepare for things to come, but they also don't know what is to come because everybody's journey is different.
And you never, and I think, and Jay, you might be there with me on it. I think now I'm at that place of I don't want to get to the end of my life and thinking the what if, like, what if I would have just took this serious or really gave this a try. So it's more like there's one guarantee: if you don't go do it, is you'll never know.
Facts.
So sometimes the never knowing is the scarier part to me. Like, yo, that's why sometimes I'll even say, like, even walking away from music, the reason why I was able to walk away from it a little easier than somebody may think is because I know that whole process I was given 100% of what I knew how to do and the information that I had and resources that I had at the time. So I didn't so I could only go off what I knew. So I was really giving it my all, the way I knew how. So I didn't think it was a failure because of I gave it my all. I just didn't have the resources I had now. That's why I would stay saying, like, yo, if I was 21 now with the same resources I have now and the different location, like,
Yeah.
probably cakewalk. I mean, it's still not cakewalk, but
but that also, you don't know where that would have put. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
Like, you really gotta be thankful for your own journey. Like, whatever led you to this point, to where you at, and you moving and you shaking, thank God for it, because you could have been 1,000 ways in a worse spot because of if you did have everything, then you probably wouldn't appreciate it. Or if you did have this, you might have squandered it. Or if you did have this opportunity, then you wasn't ready for it. Like, it's heavy. Like, you got to be grateful for your own life, your own journey, because it can change in a few days for people, a few years, a few months, and you'll never. And what you always wanted for was there, and you just had to. That timing was God's time. It wasn't yours.
That's why it's like that famous quote we used to always say, like, you miss 100% of the shots that you don't take.
Facts.
So if you don't try, like you said, you'll never know.
And be respectful of whatever you're going for. Like, nigga, you're not gonna be Steph Curry if you're not putting up 103,000 jump shots in a week, nigga. Like, you gotta respect people's grind. Like, yo, it's what took people to get there. It took them that work. There is no shortcuts in this. I'm sorry to tell people that. There ain't no shortcuts. There ain't no easy way. It's work every single day.
And
but you be grateful if you really appreciate what you're doing. No, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, and you'll appreciate getting better at it too. Like, when you putting that work in and you see the results, that's more the reason to keep going. Just to keep grinding, to give you that focus. Like, yo, I was once here and now I'm here. If I put in more of that work and I put in more of that dedication, I can go further than anything that I even thought that I could.
Yeah, and Jay said that point that I was saying earlier, definitely, like, with the Steph Curry example. Like, somebody be like, yo, I want to learn how to shoot like you. I want to be like Steph. I want to shoot like him. And it's like, and he may come to you like, yo, are you willing to shoot 5,000 shots each practice?
Right.
Are you willing to do that? Like, for hours, just putting till your shoulders get tired, your wrists hurt, everything. Are you willing to do that for years? And, it still took Curry's time to still get like that even after being in the league.
Are you willing to spend that much money on your body?
Yep.
Like the recovery for these athletes, like what LeBron spends on his body is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Are you comfortable doing that? A lot of these people get their money and want to blow it and do all their own things. Now, of course, LeBron is not the only one, but it's a great example of he everything he got, he makes sure he allocates it the right way. I don't think there's no stone he doesn't overturn. Like he's in everything he wants to be in, but also he is taking every aspect of it. Like he's not just, I'm not just an actor. I have my own production company. I make my own shows. I do this. Every movie you ever see me in from here on out, it will be a LeBron James production in a way. So like it's understanding the full like I'm big on full circle. If you want to do something, you gotta know what the janitor does to the CEO. Like whatever that is, because if you don't, then how are you ever going to fully master if you can't do every aspect of the career?
And appreciate every level of it too. But that has been episode 23 of the King Status Podcast. Should have worn my Jordan jersey today, but but we thank y'all for tuning in once again to the King Status Podcast. With me, your host, Mr. Mortar King, along with
Playboy Bucky, a.k.a. Mr. EdBuck.
Mr. Prolific, a.k.a. the Prolific Potter, a.k.a. Jay Duce.
If
I
do say so
myself. Come on, man.
I forgot to get
Yeah,
my
man, he
lacking.
lacking. All right, it's
thank
fine.
y'all
I'm
for
going to stop
tuning
saying it now. He lost it. He lost it, guys.
But we thank y'all for tuning in. Please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and follow us in the links below. And tune in next week. We appreciate y'all. Much love. And remember, nobody can fit the crown that's meant for you.
And now we out of here.